Welcome back to the Who's at the Gates podcast. I, of course, am your host, Casey Phoenix. And yeah, today is Sunday morning. Lovely, lovely Sunday as we're recording the Friday's episode. And I think the planets might be doing something because my mood has been a little sour lately as I've watched this. And maybe my expectations are too high. That could be it. My expectations could be too high. However, we have this show and we will stay here for you no matter how bad the writing gets, no matter what. If the show is on, we're talking about it because that's what we do. And I could not do this without the woman who, if you asked her, what do you think about Bill? The sun would darken immediately. Clouds would appear. Hurricanes would start. Tornadoes would land. The darkness of the netherworld would creep up from a ground splitting open. And Diana would simply say, "He's not dead. Please come get him." I'm here with the woman who, if she was in charge of HR, if Caroline came to her with a complaint, she would turn her away because she's like, "You're the one who revived Bill." The incomparable Diana.
Wow.
I literally came up with that on the spot. I was like, what type of introduction will I do for Diana? And I'm like, okay, let me just talk and see what comes out my mouth.
First of all, I think I would be great HR. Actually, no, I like HR is for the company. I don't know if how good I would be protecting company interest, but
I brought up the HR thing because this scene that we're about to cover with Caroline and Naomi, you were like, this is kind of an HR.
This is an HR violation.
Like, is it really? Like, okay, Diana coming in to save Caroline. But yeah, okay. Let's just play the scene. Let's just play the scene.
Literally.
Don't even. You've completely rearranged yours with Bill in the hospital. He and all of us here admire you for it.
Thanks for saying that. I couldn't have jumped in this easily without you, though, Caroline. And I don't want to speak for my dad, but I know he's grateful for everything you've done in his absence. You've always been devoted.
Thanks. I think.
It's not that we don't appreciate your loyalty to my dad. It's just, I don't know, it threw us off when Chelsea tried to ask you about Haley stepping out and you weren't exactly forthcoming.
It's not my place to get involved with family issues.
Of course not. But I'm willing to bet you have an opinion.
I can honestly say I have no evidence of Haley cheating on Bill.
I get it. I get that you're in a tough spot. You want to protect my dad, but don't want to risk alienating Haley, especially because Dad would probably just side with her anyways.
A rock in a hard place.
Look, all I'm saying is the time will come when you need to decide whether you're going to speak up or not. And when it does, I hope you make the right choice.
What is Naomi expecting from this woman? For her to be like, "Officer, there she is right there. Haley did it." Like, Caroline's Caroline, and Caroline's will do what's in her best interest, and what's in her best interest is what preserves Bill. If it is a threat to Bill, if it messes with her relationship with Bill, she does not want to go near it. I'm not mad at her for that energy. It's just kind of like, okay, Naomi, when you take over the law firm, then you'll get that same devotion. But until then, your dad's still calling the shots. But she couldn't just come out and say that to Naomi. And people were like dragging Caroline on X over this. Whereas like, they were somewhat dragging Naomi too, because they're like, Naomi, how can you be so foolish to think that Caroline would even side with you? She will always side with Bill. But yeah, Vanna, you got it.
Well, I mean, Caroline is, actually works in law. I don't know about Naomi, but it's just like, I don't have evidence, right? That's what her reluctance is. And Naomi bringing up like, well, we came to you before and you didn't do your job. I hope that changes. That really rubbed me the wrong way. Like, you really are trying to use your position of power here to intimidate an employee to act in line. This is where I'm like, this, if they had HR, I would be running to be like, I'm pretty sure this is quid pro quo pro. I need to take those classes again. But all I know is that this is not allowed. Just because you gave me a little gift basket doesn't mean I can bend the rules for you, or you think we're now like this relationship is different. Yeah, so I think Naomi was really lack for this. And here we are. You're asking an employee to do a lot.
It's like this. Again, she goes where her bread is buttered. Let's put it like that. And Bill is where that's at. And for Naomi not to be able to see that, it's just, yeah.
It's a little tone deaf that they've all had this problem. Like, same reason why Tomas is doing a lot this episode, and we'll get to that. But, I kind of stood up for Tomas in a previous scene where it's like the Duprees or someone like Naomi isn't realizing that, Tomas is worried about his job, right? He's just like, you just came in here as a Nepo baby. He had to work for it. What, it's there's a little tone deafness, and I guess that comes with being rich, right?
Sometimes, because not all rich people are tone deaf. Some are actually very down to earth. Shockingly so at times. But
sure.
is one of these things where somebody has said on X, like, Caroline doesn't give, it's like, how can you think Caroline gives a F about you when she didn't give a F about your mother when Bill was cheating on her?
Yeah, that's a good, yeah.
Yeah, because it's like Caroline will always keep Bill's secrets, so on and so forth. Caroline will always side with Bill. So if he didn't tell Bill's wife, like, yo, you might want to keep an eye on your man, which is, family business. And Caroline knew about all the affairs and never told one, even though Danny knew that she knew. It's kind of like, okay, don't expect much. And Danny even said that when Chelsea said she was going to talk to Caroline, Danny's like, don't know if you want to. Oh, no. When after Chelsea told Danny, Danny's like, she's gonna go to Bill. Danny called it immediately, like, okay, she's gonna go to Bill. And sure enough.
This is the thing, though. This is the thing about Bill. He gave Caroline that BMW or something, right? He gave her a nice car. Mm-hmm. He obviously values Caroline. However, when Caroline started questioning him, he's like, he ripped everyone for saying that is an employee. How dare you talk to her about our personal business? So it's, again, very convenient when people are employees versus not. Obviously, I think, Bill was saying that because he was mad that he got caught in a way, but they're not seeing that, right? It's just like, she's being put in a hard place by Bill too. Like, she is an employee, people. She does not owe you anything more than coming in, clocking in, and doing her job.
Fair enough, I guess. One could say, okay, that will be the fact of it. Meaning, cut dry, she comes in, she does her job, that's it. Then it becomes a moral question. Should she tell about these indiscretions that she discovers or that she knows of on a more?
I mean, I think she did see Bill and Danny kiss, right? Because that's it. That would be it.
Yeah, but I think what I'm talking about is just the overall, what she's been doing all of these years.
Mm-hmm.
Is it morally right for her to do it? And some people might say yes, some people might say no, because morality, like all other things, is subjective. What somebody thinks might be moral or immoral, two totally different standards and stuff.
That's true. I mean, I think it's maybe her keeping quiet again is the same thing. She's just clocking in, she's clocking out. They can ruin their own marriage on their own time.
I'm not mad at that. Okay, let's go to the steal right quick. Let's see, 137, which actually isn't that far up from this one. There we go. I'm like I said, this whole thing, and I told you, if Bill gets out the hospital and they have not figured out what's wrong with this man, I can't. And this is why I don't really like when their scenes come up now, I'm half checked in because it's just like, is Bill is the road runner and Haley is the coyote. It's like Coyote and Roadrunner. Every time she's trying to catch him, something happens and it doesn't work out. Then she's has her backup, which is Randy, which I don't know what that's about, because as we have seen later in this episode, where he's walking into Orphe Jean's telling Heather as if the cap over his head lowered down will protect him like Leslie's wigs protect her where they don't recognize her. I really just it's sort of like Tweedledee and Tweedledum is what I'm getting with Haley and Randy. And then with Bill and Haley, I'm getting Coyote and Roland. I just don't understand why these writers can't wrap this up. I was watching an anime yesterday in season 3, because it has 4 seasons. They're in the middle of season 4 right now, but I just discovered it like a few months ago, earlier this year, and I'm getting caught up. And season 3 is dragging during this competition that they're doing. And I'm just like, why is this dragging like this? Am I watching Beyond the Gates? What the hell? So when something drags now, I automatically think of Beyond the Gates. The writers need to wrap this up for real. Danny, you got it.
Oh, it's like I don't know if you've ever seen the Chappelle Show, but they do skits. It's like wrap it up. There's a button that you push for like a little neon light up sign. It's just like, just wrap it up. Yeah, I mean, Madison's here now. That's kind of my only hope, even though she kind of has her own drama. I'm just like, oh, okay, so she is alive. Like, they brought out a lot of characters this week that I'm like, okay, you're here. That's good. Let's get this moving. Yeah, Haley being like, in this scene, right? We couldn't really find it, and I think we were both just over it. Just trying to see. I'm like, Haley's trying to like persuade, like amp up Bill to be like, okay, let's, how dare they tell you can't leave, or how dare they deny you your freedom or whatever. I mean, I'm hoping he leaves. I'm hoping that this is the thing. If he leaves, that means it's going to be like another 2 months before we actually get something like done. Madison's here now. I have a feeling that Madison's going to be like, well, I mean, I can't find anything wrong with you, so I guess you have to leave. So where does that leave us? Another 2 months of Bill slowly dying?
Yeah. I I don't know. Yeah, what's the next thing? What is the next? Hold on. Okay, Naomi, Madison, and Tomas. Let's go ahead and get to this 1224. 12/24. There we go. His trifle. Let me hush.
Mike Davis reached out to me. Thanks for coming so quickly, Madison.
Why would he do that when you're not even assigned to Madison's case?
Evidently, he's frustrated with how you've been handling things in Bill's absence.
More like he's a misogynistic jerk who wants to work with a man.
I'm not defending the guy. I'm just relaying a message. He insisted on meeting, and he's on the way.
Now? You think you can just bombard your way in here and act like...
Naomi, Mike said he's coming whether we like it or not. Do you want to keep arguing, or should we use this time to prepare for the hurricane that's about to walk through the door?
I've had enough of him.
Yeah, this is some nasty work. There's no defending this.
When the thing that really, see, I'm doing my best not to cuss. It's Sunday, you know. It's oh boy, it takes a lot sometimes. All right, what really burns my bacon is that he pretty much insulted Naomi when he said, "Oh, he's not satisfied with your work." Or with how you're working or whatever it was, in front of Madison. If Madison wasn't there, I wouldn't care. It's just like, okay, well, he's saying he's not satisfied with your work one-on-one. But regardless of Madison being family or not, Madison is still a client. Some things, it's okay to be transparent about stuff, but you don't have to be transparent about 100% everything. And that was something I think Madison did not need to hear. And the question then becomes, did he say that in front of Madison just because he's being honest? Or was it also to undercut Naomi, to in front of Madison make Naomi think like you can't really trust the work that Naomi's doing? That's what I was getting. But also where it's like, he should have told Mike, like, I can't have a conversation with you. This is Naomi and Bill's case. Regardless how much Mike will kick and scream and everything, no, you need to talk to Naomi or Bill. That should have been the end of it. But here we are.
I mean, that would have been the smart thing to do. I do think that he did it on purpose. I mean, now being a DC native and knowing how to get around, Tomas called Naomi and Madison and told her to come down. That means at that moment he knew obviously what was going to happen. So Madison had enough time to leave. Where were they? At Chelsea's place or something?
Yeah, they were
right?
at Chelsea's place. Yeah,
and get to the office. And all that time he couldn't have had this conversation with Naomi and been like, "Hey, so just a heads up, this is what I did." Like this, you're right. This was a conversation that was not needed with Madison, and Naomi should have known the second he called in Madison to come in. So I'm with Naomi to be like, why didn't I know? And him being like, do you really want to argue about this now? It's like, I mean, I don't know. Maybe other people don't experience the same thing. I mean, our job is pretty low stakes, and I feel like we have pre-meetings just to make sure we're all on the same page. This man here was like, you don't get that. I like this, yeah. As much as I can defend Tomas about the whole nepotism thing and being worried about his job and all that, like, he's really not helping his case here in terms of being an actual good employee and or teammate. Well, a team player, like representing the law firm well.
Well, it goes back to what I said. And this is why I have no empathy when it comes to the whole nepotism thing. If Tomas wants to call his own shots, he needs to open up his own practice. It might be small, it might be hard, but he would be. And the reason I say that is because when you become a partner at a law firm, the buy-ins can be crazy. I've seen situations where there was one guy I was watching one time, and he was explaining, like, you're buying, I think he said it was like 300,000. He said you'll still end up making about 2 million in a year if you're a partner. But he's like, your buy-in is, I want to say it was $300,000. So you're telling me that you can't take $300,000 and start small and just build up and see if you can get some clients and stuff and do that? Like, I don't understand. You're basically being a glutton for punishment, going through all this drama. You just had a situation with Naomi that could have been avoided. You don't agree with how Naomi's doing things. You don't agree with Naomi even being there. Now that this has happened, there's a situation with Bill where Naomi went to Bill and told Bill about Tomas telling Madison, oh, well, you might want to consider the settlement. When Naomi and Bill have made it clear a settlement is not on the table. And Tomas has put this doubt in Madison's head where it's like, oh, you know, Madison's like, are you guys sure you can win and this and that? And should I really consider a settlement? And I'm just like, dude, you are doing so much damage right now. You really might want to rethink where you're working at. But that's just me.
Yeah, I don't understand how he thought that, how he's going to spin this, because, you know, once Bill gets a hold of him, he's going to backtrack. And he's like, well, you know, I was just, Naomi wanted to do this. I think as, you know, a strong legal mind, you have to consider all angles. Like, I could just imagine him trying to grovel at Bill's feet and trying hard to come up with a reason for why he did that. He's not a good manipulator. I think this is the thing. I like, this is, again, I want people to have jobs. This actor, I'm sure he's doing his best, but it's almost like a one tone with him. So that's why he can't really do the manipulation well. It all just comes out really transparent. And I think the only time he's actually emotional is when he's angry or when he's actually, like, you know, fired up about something, which isn't a lot. So yeah, if Bill's able to just kind of overlook this, then we have a problem.
Oh yeah, no, Bill not overlooking this. He's shutting it down. I mean, he did in the hospital room. He was telling him, like, you need to stay in your lane, is what he told Tomas. So, and I believe it will be more than that as well. But hopefully all of these, what's the word? Reality checks. That's what it is. Hopefully all of these reality checks that he keeps on getting from Bill and Naomi will push him to just do his own thing. And I'm sure Kat will support it too, where she'd be like, yeah, babe, you can do it. Start your own law firm.
Yeah, I think she would. And he was at the point of doing that before. And I can't remember what was it that made him almost leave. Something about Bill, and he was going to be a partner somewhere else. And he did tell Kat. I think actually the number he gave was like 300,000 or something. But he was just like, money's going to be tight because I'm basically funding, you know, all of this or whatever.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And then we kept him for some reason.
Oh, good Lord. All right. Next scene, 3052. We're almost done. We're not really covering that much, guys. Like, some of this stuff, we're just like, whatever. That's Bill and Naomi in the room right there, talking and Bill getting pissed. Was it 52 or 32? 52, right? Yeah, 52. Okay, 3052. Yeah, this lady right here, I have called since the beginning. I said she likes to play games. She's not a Leslie. She is not a Leslie. She is enjoying from showing up at the cafe, even though I do think that was semi-coincidence or whatever, that she was just honestly getting something. But she just likes playing games. And for her to act so casually with Danny, knowing that she knows Andre, and Andre is clearly like, what's funny to me right now is that it's switching from scared to irritation. There's still some fear there, but now it looks like he's starting to get visibly irritated. Like, why are you trying to do this? And he even said to her, if you're trying to blow up my marriage, I will go to Danny and tell her everything right now. Which I like that energy. It's like, because that's how it should be. Don't ever let anybody hold something over your head. Let's put it all on the table and let the chips fall where they may. But I'm ready for him to get angry. I'm ready for it to go from irritation to anger. Because Heather has enemies. And I'm not talking about just in Fairmont Crest. I'm talking about worldwide. She is the impaler after all. So that's what I think. Anytime I'm looking to rid myself of something or someone, I'm usually thinking, okay, well, what enemies do they have? Because why would I use my resources when I can use someone else's? So it's like, dude, start doing your research. You know that she's not liked. Start checking some stuff, seeing what's going on. Now, in the previews for next week, him going to Ted, I'm curious if he will confess or if he'll be like, no, it's fine, and keep on holding it in. We shall see. But yeah, that's all I got.
This makes no sense to me. I don't, someone please explain what he's doing. I don't understand what his game plan is here, because like you said, he even was like, I'll just go to Danny. Just do it now. Why wouldn't you just do it? What is so bad about this that you can't tell Danny? Because it's not like, I don't think she knows that he has a picture or anything, or that he knows that she's dangerous. Like, I mean, maybe she knows because he looks like he's about to cry every single time he sees her. It's just mind-boggling that he wouldn't tell Danny, or that he wouldn't tell, like, hey, this is all hands on deck situation. The Duprees, we need security detail now. Like, I'm just like, what are they there for? What the hell? What are the Duprees useful for, if not to at least be be protected against from a known criminal or what have you? It doesn't make any sense. And I really don't think that it was coincidence that she was at Orphe Jeans when they were. I think she's been tailing him. I think that was done on purpose. This is only going to continue, right? Just like in any sort of soap opera, any sort of long continued drama. We know that they like to stretch it out here beyond the gates. So this is just going to continue, where she's just going to tease him like cat and mouse sort of situation. I'm like just really annoyed. Same with Danny. Danny should tell him she cheated. Andre should tell, as far as Danny, like, hey, I slept with her, realized that she's dangerous, and I bounced. Stay away from her.
Yeah.
Or just maybe he doesn't even have to tell her about the whole that she's dangerous or whatever. It's just like, he could lie about. If he lied about that, I mean, I think I probably would even forgive that, like not telling her the exact reason why he left. Maybe it's like, I feel like that's such an easy thing to lie about too. Like, oh, I just got overwhelmed, and I just, how I was back then. I just couldn't commit to anything, or, I just left. But no, we can't have that. We're going to have like 20 more episodes of this at minimum, of Andre being just like about to pee his pants anytime he sees her.
Yeah.
That's what we get.
And this will be another situation like the Bill and Haley situation that I will have mentally kind of checked out on. So when they come on the screen, I'll process like 25% of the dialogue, unless my ears perk up if it hears something worthwhile. But yeah, that's next scene, Chelsea and Kat, which actually is semi more interesting. Let's see, 35, 38. And this is the final scene, and then we can do the next week's teasers or whatever. Let's see, 35, 38. Did I get that right? Hold on. What the hell? Yeah, I have 35, 38. That's weird. It's showing, you know what? Let me just see what happens. Yeah, why is it not? Okay. Yeah, that's
Kat, these mock-ups look great. The Chelsea fan was gonna die. Unknown caller. Again. Kat, what if it's her? Who is this?
I can hear you breathing. Who is this? They hung up.
It's Allison. I know it is.
all right. Before we start this scene, or before we talk about this scene, I would like to add that we do have a 3-part series from season 1, Memorable Moments, on the kidnapping of Chelsea by Allison. So for those of you who may not be familiar with the Allison story, if you're like a late comer to the Beyond the Gates TV show and you didn't really watch season 1, you can go to our playlist on our YouTube channel and look at season 1 Memorable Moments. You will find 3 lovely episodes because it went over several episodes of Chelsea being kidnapped, them looking for Chelsea, and all the other jazzy stuff. So if you want to get caught up on that, feel free to check it out there. And on that note, I'll actually toss it to Diana because I know Diana knows the Allison villain. So yeah.
I mean, if this is Allison, do you see how she gets things done? You see how no, like chains cannot hold her back. She's still here being a mess and terrorizing people. See how it didn't get drawn out? See how she's just cutting to the chase?
See, writers, what Diana's saying, this is your blueprint. Take it, run with it, put it into effect, live it, learn it, love it. Go ahead, Diana.
Yeah, I loved the Allison situation just because, and I'm not talking about this particular scene, but just in general, because I really do feel like they set it up. It was a little of a slow burn, but they set it up enough that, yeah, we weren't waiting. We're like, wait, hold on, something's not adding up here, and it's like, oh, surprise, yeah, no, she she is just unhinged. So if she's coming back, very excited. I hope, but I just wonder what it could be. It's very clear too that like no one has had therapy on Beyond the Gates. And you know, I feel bad for Chelsea. I really do. I feel, you know, like she has this hanging over her head, and like she has to like watch her back and all that. Like, you know, no one wants to feel unsafe. So I'm glad that she has Madison. Madison always holding it down, and yeah, I don't know. I have a lot of hope. I guess that we get something good.
Yeah, well, let me say this. Jacob is the reason this happened. This call that Chelsea received, or the calls, because it's actually more than one call that she's received. These calls that Chelsea has been receiving, they're all Jacob's fault. So let's make that crystal clear.
You think this is another situation where she has access to, I don't know. Like,
No. I'm saying it's Jacob's fault because during the kidnapping, spoiler alert, when Chelsea was fighting back,
yes,
and Chelsea was strangling her with the chain, had Jacob not stopped Chelsea, Allison would no longer be here. That's
right.
all I'm saying. So if Jacob would have just stood back and let God work and let things happen the way they happen, because if it was meant for Allison to be saved, then she would be saved. You ain't got to step in to do anything. If God want Allison to live, she gonna live.
How do we
can do?
How do we know that Jacob didn't put? What if God was speaking through Jacob?
Well, see, then we need to have another conversation. and that's a prayerful conversation. Like, Lord, why did you save this no good, crazy ass heifer?
I was like, what if Jacob is the divine?
Because that would be a prayerful conversation. My thing is that if we had just let Chelsea do what she was supposed to do, because again, Chelsea was kidnapped and held at knife point and chained to a bed. If you are not then given the right, and people can agree to disagree, this is just my thing. If I have the upper hand, I'm not about to let you walk away alive after all that. It's not happening, because what's in my head, I'm thinking down the line. I'm thinking if you walk away alive, you might get out. You could get out, like if you go to trial, you could get off on a technicality. All of these other things could happen where you could end up back in my life doing some extra stuff again, where if I know if we just end it right then and there, I don't have to worry about you anymore. My life won't be in danger anymore. I don't have to be worry about getting chained to a bed again anymore. I haven't chlorophyll or whatever it's called, chloroform. I think it's chloroform, because chlorophyll is what I drink. Chloroform, having chloroform put over your nose, and then you passed out and you waking up in a strange cabin somewhere. Like, there is no way in my mind that I will let you live if I get the upper hand and you've done all that to me. So let's make that clear. You will die. That's just where I'm at. So Jacob comes in and it's like, okay, you did this. Here we are again with the shenanigans where we're getting phone calls of people breathing on phones and hanging up. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I think I wonder if the writers were like, damn, the Duprees are racking up bodies. We can't have I almost wish that was the case, honestly. Like, if that was just like part of the show. You have Kat and Eva, you have Martin and that racist, and then you have Chelsea and what's her face, Chelsea Madison. Hell, I mean, I almost wish Danny's gun didn't miss, and then we would have Danny and Bill. If that was just the plot line. The Prees are just racking up just their kill rate. That's their family legacy.
That would have been a whole new show. Bodies buried under the gates.
We would have been at Mobland or whatever, another Paramount show. Yeah, I don't know if I would have liked. I think that would have been too much on Chelsea, to be honest. I think that I don't know if it would have been as simple for her as it was for Martin just to take somebody's life. Even though for Martin, I think given the situation, that probably was a lot easier.
He was, first, Martin was self-defense. So that was the first one.
Yeah, I'm like, it's not much of a loss for me.
Yeah, this definitely, even more so than Martin's situation. Martin wasn't even kidnapped. This more so definitely would have been self-defense. Like, there is no jury in the world that would have been like, oh, girl, we got to send you to jail because no, they're going to be like, girl, thank you for doing the Lord's work. Thank you for being an outstanding citizen. Thank you for making our streets safer. That is what the jury will say.
Yeah, they'd be like, do you want Jacob's job?
So we'll see Allison again. And again, Allison is a great villain. And I'm not mad at them keeping her alive to bring her back, because obviously they may have had that already on their mind, like, oh yeah, we have to bring Allison back. But from a realistic point of view, something like that were to happen to someone, the logical outcome is that the individual has no future. That's the most logical outcome, and it is what it is. So yeah, let's go ahead and check out these scenes for next week.
Next on Beyond the Gates.
These calls aren't a weird coincidence, okay? I know they aren't.
Jacob, what if Allison escaped?
Hi, Cat. Any luck? I mean, he'll have stopped breathing by the time I get back.
You couldn't possibly understand what Andre and I have because it's rooted in love.
So rooted that you're constantly sniffing around my marriage and my man.
Are you in trouble, Andre?
I knew you wouldn't be able to stay away.
Andre,
The one that stuck out for me was the Eva and Kat and Isaiah thing. And I had said this before in one of the episodes. Kat is smiling a little bit too much up in Isaiah's face. And I'm not saying that Eva should be jealous or doing the most all the time, because that's getting on my nerves too. Like, girl, calm down. He's sleeping in your bed every night. However, what you can do is keep an eye and take notes. Start mentally taking notes and being like, okay, all right, keep an eye on her. And I'm not saying that Kat's goal is to steal Isaiah away from Eva, even though we know Isaiah is the much better man than Tomas. However, something feels off to me. And Eva just needs to keep an eye on Kat to be like, okay, Kat, what are you doing here? That's all.
I mean, it's not like they're having a book club in, Kat's new house. It looks like they're having a good conversation, just laughing out loud in public. It's not like, I doubt the conversation was, revealing, deep private conversations that shouldn't be revealed. I'm sick of Eva doing the most too. I mean, why would that be the first thing that she does? But what is it? There's a phrase, right? It's just like, you get them how you lose them, or whatever. You lose them how you get them, or blah 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 blah. Like, I think this is a lot of projection coming from Eva. How about that? Which is because she knows that she purposely went after Tomas, purposely tried to ruin that relationship. Now she thinks Kat's doing the same. I don't think Kat's doing that. Maybe she's doing it to get a little bit underneath Eva's skin. I don't think she would purposely go after Isaiah because, she wants a man with a job. But I think it's just a lot of projection, right? And that's what's annoying about this. Like, we're back here again. Like, and this is all on Eva.
We will see. And Eva, it wasn't a purposely thing. Eva knew Tomas as well.
Correct. And
so it was like, it was around the same time. It wasn't like, oh, Kat had been seeing Tomas for years. And then Eva jumps up, no. Eva was also seeing Tomas around that time. And then Kat and Tomas decided to become a little bit more serious until Kat started running hot and cold. And then they had a small separation. And that's when Tomas briefly ended up in bed with Eva. That's what was going on. For this year.
This storytelling that you tell is just miraculous. Considering, again, Eva was lying to people's faces like, why does Kat always have a problem with me? Well, then don't sniff around her boyfriend. Don't purposely try to have private conversations with him in a hotel room. You can't claim that you're trying to build a relationship while actively also destroying it. And that's always going to be my problem with her too. It's just that, acting one way in front of people, acting a different way in front of Kat. It's just like, she plays the victim. That has always been the case. She admitted to Kat that she did she didn't even admit to her. That's the thing. She was just like, I could have acted better. And Kat had to be like, thanks for admitting to gaslighting me. But Eva technically didn't even admit to that. She is never going to be held accountable. Again, always a victim mentality. And again, there's a reason why. We'll see how the scene plays out next week. But if this is her projecting that Kat's going to be the same low life that she is, I'm just tired of this back and forth.
Well, we will see how it plays out, because if Kat is up to something nefarious, will you be the first to call her out?
Yeah, because I'd be like, Isaiah, really?
Wow.
Girl.
Oh, we know Isaiah is 100 times better than Tomas. So let's
I
not.
mean, you have two entitled men. How about that? I'd say they might be almost on par.
Lies, lies, and more lies.
You know,
yeah. Well, this was the only scene that I was semi-interested in. All the others, well, okay, Chelsea and the whole thing, even though the first person she went to was Jacob, I don't know if that was a bright idea. But definitely the Kat and Eva thing, I'm curious to see what transpired before Eva walked in.
I mean, it's also par for the course for what's his face, Isaiah. I mean, I said this about Isaiah. He's very fair weathered. He's not a person. He doesn't scream loyalty to me. So even though Eva has a big issue with Kat, he's gonna try to keep the peace wherever possible, right? And to me, that's a little two-faced, but you know, it is what it is. I wouldn't be surprised if he thought, well, okay, things are a little bit better. I never really wanted to beef with Kat. I've known Kat a lot longer than I ever knew. You know, we were friends before Eva came along. You know, why not have a conversation with her? Like, it's not like, why would it change if he would say hi to Kat before the relationship? Why wouldn't he say hi to Kat after the relationship? You know, or why not have a chat with her? So here we are. I am curious to see what happens. So I mean, if it's some BS, the writers can just miss me with that. Kat and Eva are good drama, right? You know, a lot of people obviously clearly built sides around that, but at some point you can't force the character Kat to like be cool with Eva or make up, and then it's like this, you 2 steps forward or 1 step forward, 2 steps back. It gets tiring after a point.
Yeah.
Either Kat had that dream or she didn't. And if we want to forget that she had that dream, I'm fine with that. But, you know, let's all get on the same page. Like, I will be the first.
My word. Well, I can say that, again, I'm semi-checked out on certain things with this show. If it picks up, great. But I need for them to wrap up some of these storylines because we need new storylines. We need stuff going on. It can't be the same old scenes. Just like, and also going back to the Kat and Eva thing, that what's happening for next week, it also happened in Orphe Jeans before. As a matter of fact, we even on one of our earlier episodes when this podcast first started about 4 months ago, that was one of the thumbnails of Eva walking in and Isaiah sitting down with Kat, and Eva giving Kat the side eye. So it's like, okay, writers, it hasn't even been 6 months and we're back here again.
Mm-hmm.
We need to work on, and my goal is not to be mean. I'm just like, this is constructive feedback as another creative. And you have to keep things really fresh. And it's kind of funny. They need to read the freaking comments because some of the people have amazing ideas. One person in the comments, in our comments, and shout out to the people in the comment section, which I haven't answered the most recent ones, but I promise that I'll get in there within the next day or so. But one of the person in the comments that mentioned the whole Eva thing and the whole Scar, how everybody's like, the Scar storyline sucks. They said what they should have done is had Eva be pregnant. And I was like, oh, that's a good one, because with her just having a brand new liver transplant, the liver processes a lot of things, and the liver can be under a lot of stress when it has a lot to process. Being pregnant, you're eating for 2. I'm pretty confident that a pregnancy could affect her liver and stuff. And then it becomes a question of, does she keep the baby because she wants a baby? Or does she decide like, oh, I should get rid of it because I could possibly die by carrying this baby? And what they could have done was she decides to carry the baby, but then she has a miscarriage like 4 months in or something like that. I think that would have been a good storyline versus the Scar storyline. And there's other stuff I've read in the comments where I'm like, oh, you know what? That is a good idea. Like, these writers need to get in the comments and listen to the fans of the show. But that's just me. Dana, you got it.
I don't know if I would have liked the pregnancy storyline, but I do think we didn't need the Scar storyline. How about that?
Yeah, I would have. I want the pregnancy. Because again, okay, let me be clear on this. If she had not had a liver transplant, I would not have wanted the pregnancy storyline.
Mm-hmm.
But because she had a liver transplant, and because being pregnant, you're eating for two, which is double the work on your body's organs and stuff, where it will more than likely create a health issue because she's pregnant. That's why I would have wanted that storyline.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm like, we can't even get new people on the show. We're gonna have a whole baby.
Well, no, if she had the miscarriage, there won't be a baby. Because I said I would want her to have the miscarriage at about 4 months.
And then Haley steals the baby to pretend that she's pregnant. I don't know.
Haley steals Eva's sonogram photo. Oh, good times. My word. Okay. On that note, Gators, we are about to go. Thank you so much, everyone, for the support. Oh, yeah. I put it in the community post, the episode that we're doing a retrospective, I called it introspective, same difference, but a retrospective on Leslie and Ted, because again, we only covered the stuff outside of Ted and Leslie in that episode that came on Thursday. The retrospective is specifically the Ted and Leslie stuff, and we drag both of them. During this, again, we didn't like the episode, so we end up dragging both of them. But the retrospective episode is already uploaded. It will premiere on Saturday at 11:59 a.m. Eastern, with a 1-minute lead-in as we normally do for our stuff. So yeah, be sure to check that out. You will love Diana's introduction. Diana even said she agreed with everything I said during her introduction. So if you just watch it for the introduction alone, I promise you it'll be worth it. So yeah, Diana, did you have anything before we go?
No, nothing for me.
Okay. All righty then. Awesome. Well, thank you, everyone, Gators. Until next time.
Bye.